by Pembrokeshire Born performer Emily Davis. A very good morning to you, Emily.
Good morning to you. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. You've got what sounds like a very funny and relatable show coming to the Newport Memorial Hall later on this month. Give us the overview as to what you're bringing to town.
So it's a one-woman musical comedy. I wrote it. Worked with a couple of composers on some of the songs, and it's based on things that have happened in my life, and it's just about falling in and out of love with the corporate world, really, and getting back in touch with nature and finding out that there's more to life than spreadsheets.
Are you sure? It does seem to be that dream, doesn't it, of I'm going to go to the city, I'm going to get that job, I'm going to be dressed and suited and booted, and I'm going to travel the world, and it's going to be amazing. But the reality is that doesn't happen for the majority of workers, does it?
No. Well, I mean, I did it, and I'm still doing some bits of it to an extent, but I left Pembrokeshire to move to London, and I've done a lot of performing since I've lived there, but I also got a corporate job because I needed to pay my rent. And there are so many aspects of it that I really enjoyed and I really, got a lot out of. And then, like I say, the show is it's based on my own life and my own feelings of kind of, like I say, there is more to life than sitting at a desk. And also there's a lot to satirize and laugh at, really, about what we do on a daily basis, in the way that we talk to each other when we go into this corporate setting, and all of a sudden it's like we're clenched and we speak in a sort of just a slightly different way than you do when you're outside of it. And so it's looking at that side of it as well, kind of who are we when we're in the office, and who are we when we're outside of it? Yeah,
all those unwritten rules, all those conventions about, oh no, when you're in a board meeting you must say this and you must do this in order and things like that. Gina?
Well, I'm just intrigued to find out more about escaping the rat race.
The concept or the show?
I think the concept is. I want the concept. What was it then that you've had this corporate world? What was that trigger where you were like, actually, this isn't for me anymore. This isn't what I thought it was.
Well, it's not so much that I felt that the corporate world. I mean, I've always, like I said, I've sort of straddled corporate and stage life for a long time. But I went on a boat trip on a hen-do in Mallorca a few years ago, and the sea, it was really rough. They didn't want to take us out, but they did take us out, and they couldn't put the sails up. It was really bad. They sort of tried to give us drinks and nobody could hold them. And my friend whose wedding it was, she was, I don't want to upset your breakfast listeners, but there was a lot of people being sick.
A bit of nausea.
A lot of nausea. Yeah. But not from me. I sat there and I was having the time of my life, and I thought, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me ever. And I said to the girls, I'm going to learn to sail. And they said, oh, you're drunk, you're in Mallorca, you're on a hen-do, you won't like it in the UK. And I got back to the UK and I went on a weekend in Southampton on a boat. And I honestly feel like it just totally changed my life. I was like, everything makes sense on a boat. And you're out in the sea and nothing matters and nothing's important, because all that's important is what's in front of you, because you have to concentrate on what you're doing, otherwise you will die. And there was something really sort of freeing and liberating about how afraid I was and how excited I was. And I just thought, I want to feel like this more. I don't feel like this when I go to work. So yeah, I just sort of, it sort of sparked something in me to go, oh, how can I find more of this in my life? Because we're not here for long, are we? So that's what it's about, really. Me just kind of going, oh, do you know what? There's more excitement out there and I want it.
I love that. Most people spend their life running away from fear, and you're like, no, I need that buzz. I'm going to get on the water. And you remind me, actually, there's an inspirational young lady, Freya Terry, and her pink yacht is she currently circumnavigating the whole of the British Isles.
Oh, wow.
So she took a break over the winter, but she's somewhere up in the north of Scotland at the moment. And for that similar thing of, I'm going to challenge myself, I'm going to do something. And she's going around raising awareness of mental health and overcoming challenges as part of that. And your story kind of reminds me of that as well, of I'm going to overcome something and feel something again.
Yeah, exactly that. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, Freya Terry, she's on She Sails on social media for those that might be interested.
Okay.
So how did that adventure turn into a piece of work Escape the Rat Race, which you're now going to be performing in Newport Memorial Hall?
Well, it was kind of, you know, these creative things. They sort of, I never knew that this is where I was going to end up, you know, but I knew I've done so my character in the show is Blodwen, and she's who I perform as. So she's kind of all the bits of me that I'm happy to put on stage. And this is the third show in the series. So I've done Blodwen's in Town, which is about moving to London from West Wales, and then Blodwen's in Paris, which is about spending some time in France. And this felt like the next step, kind of, you know, her experience in the corporate world. And the initially it was just about the office, but I realized that she needed to go somewhere, you know, and I was going on this journey myself, and it's turned from a show where there's a little bit of the sea at the end to one where it comes in much earlier, and actually it is much more about the change moment, you know. And so it's just an iterative process, really. You know, I've written lots of different songs, you know, tried them out, some worked, and then I've rewritten things, and it's gone through several layers of creation, I suppose, like these things do.
That's so cool. Gina?
Well, I was just listening then, and so we're going through a story, and you have got music and songs in there as well.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I love to sing, so yeah. And that's how I like to tell stories, you know. And it's a musical, really, you know. It's a sort of straddles cabaret / musical, because I talk to the audience, and it's very much about us all having this experience together, and me sharing this stuff with the people who come and watch. But you can do so much more. You can tell stories so much more, can't you? You know, with music and kind of the different things that you can do. There's comedy songs in there. There's a big 11 o'clock number. There's a thoughtful ballad. You know, there's patter songs. So there's a real range of feelings and emotions that the music just helped tell the story a lot better, I think.
Yeah. And I imagine then it will resonate with a wide range of audience, because you've got that satire in there, you've got the quick wit that's part of that, and also a reflection on life that most people will have some resemblance to as well.
Yeah, well, so far I've done a few previews, and I did a work in progress version last year, and that is what everybody says. One guy said to me after one show, he said it almost made me feel uncomfortable because it's too relatable, but people say it makes you question your own corporate, your own position in the corporate world. And I mean, it's not for everybody, but it is for some people. You know, some people love it, and it's not really about saying that there's a right or a wrong way to live your life. It's just a story about one person who wanted to do something for a long time and then started to want to do something different.
Yeah. And it's coming to Newport. Which is very exciting. 28th
of June. Yeah.
Amazing. Where can people get tickets for that now then?
They can get tickets from Ticket Source. I don't know what the actual URL is. It's probably / Escape the Rat Race.
We'll find it.
But they're online.
We'll put in the comments on the social media that we've got going on here as well. And for those that maybe want to find out more about you and about these other productions that you've also done in the past, and find out what you're doing next, I imagine that this is your labour of love at the moment. Where can they find out more about you?
So I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm at Welsh Girl Sings on all social media platforms. So that's probably the easiest place to find me.
I love that. And in fact, just to go back one step, Blodwen Cadwalader. It's a very deliberate choice of name there for your stage persona.
It certainly is.
Where did that come from?
Well, do you know, I've only recently given her a surname, and I don't tend to labour that too much. But originally, I was, you know, living in London, doing these one-woman shows. They're very much being Welsh is obviously, like, it's important to me, and it's a big part of who I am. And I wanted a name that suited the character, but also that English people can pronounce. So I'm on it. I don't know if that's like giving away sort of secrets, but I could have put something that was funnier, if you like, with a lot of and all that kind of stuff in it. But I just needed something that was obviously instantly Welsh, and also I love it. Just really suits her. You know, if you make it to see the show, you'll see, like, it's the perfect name for her, really. And I don't know if it's the name creates her or she creates the name, or what it is, but it was a sort of strategic choice, yes.
And it feels right when you're up there, being Blodwen for that. And how long is the show? What's the running time?
It's just under an hour.
Oh, fantastic. Gina.
Oh, it just sounds incredible. And I know that it's going to be a lot of fun. And whether you've sort of, you want to escape the rat race, or you just want a little inkling about how Blodwen does it and what she gets up to, a brilliant show to get your tickets to.
Yeah. And I need to ask, are you still sailing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh, it wasn't just a muse for a new production, it's carried on.
No, it is I mean, my friends will tell you I bore them to death talking about how much I love it. And I'm very bad at it. But, you know, you can only learn, can't you?
You float, though.
Yeah, I do float. I mean, they make you wear a life jacket, so.
Emily, thank you so much for coming down and telling us all about this show. It's the 28th in the Newport Memorial Hall. Get your tickets now. We'll post the links on the Facebook, because this has been live streamed on social media also. And yeah, we can't wait to hear how it goes. And yeah, please keep us updated as to when you're bringing more of your productions back.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thank you so much for having me.
You're
really lovely.
So welcome. Would you like to introduce the next song we're going to play in a few moments?
Okay. Yes. So now.
Yeah.
So it's Rod Stewart. It's Sailing, and when this show was still a work in progress, this is what I had as the end song of the show. But now I've replaced it with an original song. But this will make you feel how I feel when I'm on a boat.
We can't wait. It's coming up for us in just a few short moments here as we get to 9:20. Still time to get involved in our Unscramble competition over on Facebook, if that's where you're watching this video. Emily Davis, one more time, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Get your annual all year round fun and adventure